right, team, good evening. Today is December 11th, 2022, and this is Coach Avalos coming to you with the market update for this week. Lots of things going on in the market this week. We do have some news coming on Tuesday and Wednesday, so we will be seeing some good data coming out that's going to make a difference in the stock market. So CPI, what's that going to come in at? So be careful this week, because CPI, if it comes in under what everybody is expecting, which some folks are expecting a softer number, the market will potentially rip up. Okay, now we do have some things going on with recession. We have a lot of recession talk. So now we have Bank of America telling us that we are going to see a recession in about 12 weeks. So that is about 3 months for a lot of us, maybe a little bit after that. So I kind of analyzed it, and I was thinking Q1, Q2 based off everything I'm seeing. So here's what they're talking about. So I want to get into QQQ and show you guys some levels that are going to be very important. But first, let me jump over to the banks. So this is one of the signs that folks look for when a recession is coming. So now we have the banks fell about 10% this week. Look at that. We had a sell signal here on Monday, and they came down. And that's a pretty big drop for, JP Morgan. So that's the first sign. And Bank of America is another one. You see, this is a pretty big dip for Bank of America. You can see it's been falling since Friday, November 18th. And now it went from about $38 down to $32. So why are the banks falling? Well, those are the first signs of a recession. Here goes Wells Fargo. You have it started dipping about $47, and now it's currently at $42. For a bank with these market caps, that is a big drop. So be careful. Oil is down 40%. So a lot of signs pointing to a recession really soon. So who knows what's going to happen with the Fed? Some people think they're going to raise the interest rate 0.50, but if you listen to Powell in his last speech, he said he is staying the course. So potentially we might see a 0.75. What is that going to do to the market? Well, I can tell you, if you like to know, we can tell you in the bull ring. I'll leave you a link down below, and we talk about it weekly, daily, and sometimes we get on live sessions. So feel free to click on the link and go check out the packages. All right, so let's look at QQQ. QQQ found some support here at the bottom, but what's going to happen next week with QQQ? And here's what I'm thinking. Okay, so we have one support there. There was another support here. Okay, potentially this is a double bottom for QQQ. Now be careful, depending on the news, we could see a nice dip to the bottom. Look at this right here. We have a big sandwich, and that's what I call it in the bull ring. Okay, so this area here, QQQ, can see this come down. Okay, but we do have a double bottom, so potentially we can see a nice bounce up depending on the news. And here's what I think will happen if this arrow will appear. Okay, so we could see QQQ do this, okay, and potentially test these areas here. You have 287, we have 290, maybe 293. So we could see this happen here, where it comes up and it'll top off around here, and then it'll make its way down and potentially head right back down to the sandwich area. And here's where a lot of bears are going to eat. they're going to have a nice feast in here. So QQQ is driven by a lot of different stocks. So if you are playing QQQ, do your research. If you want to learn more, I have a course on this. Link is below. 25% off today. All right, so let's look at SPY. What is SPY doing? So we talked on the previous video that we thought SPY was in a bearish flag here, which we know from previous courses that yes, this is what we have. Okay, so this is major rejection for SPY, who is definitely in a downtrend here. So now let's look at key levels for SPY, and I want to show you here. Okay, that 410. So I think we could see the same thing that is going on with QQQ. Okay, you might have a potential double bottom here. If it continues to come down, it can test that level of around 392 and then potentially bounce back up. You can see a trend and then potentially come back down, because we see the same thing here. We see a nice big sandwich, and it's time to eat. If you're a bear, you can definitely do well here. So look for a reversal. So far, what we've seen this weekend is that everything's pointing down. So if you're like me, follow the Asia market, and whatever they do when they open up, usually we do it. So I think that we're going to be in bearish mode, and I wouldn't be surprised if the FOMC and Mr. Powell come out with news that people think is good and the market rips back up. So remember, if it does that, okay, I'm going to go over my sign lines again. Okay, if it goes up, I'm going to show you, this is the area we are in now, and I'm going to open this up a little bit for you. Okay, if we decide to rip back up, we still have resistance here. Okay, we could see this happening. Now this will be a big test. Okay, we could see this come down. Okay, I think based off of everything I've studied on charts, this will happen if we do test it again. Why? Because if you're a student of technical analysis, you will see that we've hit this line 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Okay, and what happens in any stock? You can look at the 1 minute, you can look at the 5 minute, you can look at the 1 hour chart, the daily chart, and this usually is a sign that we are ready to pop up. What's going to get us there is news. Okay, and if that happens, there is lots of buyers waiting right here at this 4200 level. You see this blue line? This is the original wave 1 that we started back at the beginning. Okay, so now let me move my chart down for you guys so you can see. Okay, originally when this stock started falling, okay, you see we were here in wave 1 and we fell out of it, and eventually came back up and got into wave 1 again. Okay, and then we started headed down. We followed wave 1 and dropped into wave 2 and followed wave 2 a little bit, and then we dropped again. Now we're in wave 3. If we break out of here and enter wave 1 again, 4200 level, there is lots of buyers waiting. So I could see the stock start going up, and this could potentially be the rally that everybody is talking about, where we will get to around 4500 level here. Now this is wave 2. Okay, so I could see some resistance here if that did happen. So just keep an eye out. If you see this pop and we get into 4200 level, it's going to be a bull run. So let's see what happens with the news. Make sure you keep your ears to the ground, folks. So this should be a fun week if you play it right. If you want to know how to enter and exit a trade, I have some free videos here on the channel. But if you want to learn more, I have courses that are 25% off for beginners. So until then, I'm hoping and wishing you a green week.